Imagine you're working hard, earning just enough to get by, but at the end of the month, your wallet feels empty. You might wonder, where does all my money go? It's not just about how much you earn, it's often about how you spend it. Here's the surprising part. Many people stay stuck in financial struggles not because they don't make enough, but because of unnoticed habits draining their money. These aren't the obvious big-ticket expenses like rent or bills. They're sneaky, everyday choices that add up over time and keep people from getting ahead. This video isn't about judging anyone. It's about shedding light on some surprising ways money gets wasted, especially by those who can least afford it. By understanding these 5 common traps, you can start making smarter choices and take control of your financial future. Let's dive in. Number 1. Aspirational spending to look rich. Have you ever felt the pressure to buy something just to look successful? Maybe it's a fancy phone, branded clothes, or a shiny new car you don't really need. This kind of spending, called aspirational spending, is when people spend money trying to appear richer than they are. It's a common trap that keeps many stuck in financial trouble. Social media makes this even worse. Seeing influencers or even friends showing off expensive things can make you feel like you need to keep up. But here's the reality. Many of the people showing off aren't actually rich. They're just good at looking rich. Some are even in debt trying to maintain the image. The problem with aspirational spending is that it takes money away from things that actually matter, like saving for the future, paying off debt, or investing in something that will grow in value. For example, upgrading to a luxury car might impress others, but those high monthly payments can stop you from building an emergency fund or starting a side business. Why do people do this? It's often because of status anxiety, the fear of looking poor or less successful. But in trying to look rich, they end up becoming poorer. It's like wearing a mask that hides the real financial struggle underneath. Instead of spending to impress others, focus on what's important to you. Do you want financial freedom, less stress, or to retire comfortably? Every dollar spent on status is a dollar that could move you closer to those goals. True wealth isn't about what others see. It's about having control over your money and your life. The sooner you stop chasing the image of success, the closer you'll get to the real thing. Number 2. Unchecked small luxuries syndrome. You've probably heard the saying, it's just a few dollars, it won't hurt. But those small daily expenses can quietly drain your money without you even noticing. This is what's called small luxury syndrome. It's when spending on little things adds up to big amounts over time. Think about it. Grabbing a $5 coffee every morning, ordering takeout a few times a week, subscribing to multiple streaming services, or impulse buying cheap items online. Each one feels harmless on its own. But when you add them up, these small luxuries can cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year. Let's do the math. A $10 daily expense might not seem like much, but over a year, that's $3,650. That's money that could have gone toward an emergency fund, paying off debt, or even starting an investment. Why does this happen? It's because small luxuries give us instant gratification. Buying a coffee or ordering a meal feels good in the moment, and we often don't think about how those little costs stack up. Plus, automated payments, like for streaming services, make it easy to forget we're spending money at all. The good news is that fixing this doesn't mean giving up everything you enjoy. Start by tracking where your money goes. Are there small expenses you don't really care about? Cancel subscriptions you rarely use, or try making coffee at home a few times a week. You'd be surprised how much you can save with minor changes. Remember, wealth isn't just about big earnings, it's also about managing the little leaks in your budget. By being mindful of small luxuries, you can redirect that money to things that truly matter, like building your future. Number 3. Avoiding preventative expenses. One of the biggest mistakes people make is avoiding small expenses that could save them from bigger costs later. This happens when people skip things like health insurance, car maintenance, or home repairs, thinking they're saving money. In reality, this ends up costing much more in the long run. Take health insurance, for example. Some people avoid it because the monthly premiums seem too high. But without insurance, even a small medical issue, like a broken bone or an infection, can turn into a huge bill worth thousands of dollars. Preventative care, like regular checkups, can catch problems early and save money. The same goes for car maintenance. Ignoring small issues like oil changes or strange noises might save a little money now, but it could lead to major breakdowns later. A $50 oil change today can prevent a $3,000 engine repair tomorrow. Home maintenance is another area where people cut corners. Skipping roof repairs or plumbing checks might seem like a smart way to save money, but small problems can turn into big disasters. A leaky pipe that costs $100 to fix now could cause thousands of dollars in water damage if ignored. Why do people avoid these expenses? It's often because they focus on immediate costs rather than long-term consequences. This short-term thinking, while understandable, can create financial emergencies that are far harder to handle. The key is to see these expenses as investments in your future. Spending a little now to take care of your health, car, or home can save you from massive stress and debt later. Think of it this way. Being proactive isn't about spending, it's about protecting the money you already have. Number 4, convenience debt traps. Sometimes, life gets hectic, and making quick financial decisions feels easier. That's where convenience debt traps come in. These are things like payday loans, buy now pay later plans, and overdraft fees. They seem helpful in the moment, but they can trap you in a cycle of debt. Take payday loans, for example. They're often advertised as a simple way to get cash quickly when you're short. But these loans come with sky-high interest rates, sometimes over 300%. If you can't pay it back on time, you end up borrowing more, and the debt snowballs. What started as a small loan can turn into a major financial burden. Buy now, pay later services sound great too. Want something now but don't have the cash? Just split it into 4 easy payments. But what happens if you miss a payment? Late fees and penalties pile up, turning a small purchase into an expensive mistake. These services can also make you spend more because it doesn't feel like real money in the moment. Then there's overdraft fees. You swipe your card, thinking you have enough in your account, only to get hit with a $35 fee because you went a few dollars over. Some people rack up hundreds of dollars in fees this way without realizing it. The issue with convenience debt is that it creates an illusion of affordability. It feels like you're solving a problem, but you're actually creating a bigger one down the line. The fix? Plan ahead and use tools like budgeting apps or emergency savings. If you avoid these traps, you'll have more control over your money and less stress in the long run. Convenience shouldn't come at the cost of your financial future. Number 5. Quick money fixes. When you're struggling with money, the dream of a quick fix can be very tempting. That's why so many people turn to things like lottery tickets, multi-level marketing schemes, MLMs, or even shady online get-rich-quick offers. These all promise to solve your money problems fast, but they often lead to losing more money instead. Take lottery tickets, for example. Millions of people spend a few dollars every week hoping to hit the jackpot. But the odds of winning are so low that you're more likely to be struck by lightning. Over time, this small expense can add up to hundreds or even thousands of wasted dollars. MLMs, like those selling overpriced health supplements or beauty products, can be even worse. They lure people in with promises of wealth and success. But studies show that over 90% of participants in MLMs lose money. Instead of making you rich, they leave you with unsold products and empty bank accounts. Why do people fall for these traps? It's often out of desperation or the belief that there's no other way to escape financial hardship. This is called hope marketing, selling people the dream of a better life. The real problem is that these quick fixes distract people from building solid financial habits, like budgeting, saving, or investing. Instead of risking money on a lottery ticket or a risky scheme, think about how that money could grow in a savings account or a low-cost investment. Here's the truth. There are no shortcuts to financial success. It takes time, effort, and smart decisions. Recognizing and avoiding these quick money traps is the first step toward breaking free from financial stress and building real wealth. Money troubles often feel overwhelming, but the good news is that they don't have to be permanent. By understanding where your money goes, you can take the first step toward financial freedom. These habits might seem harmless or even helpful in the moment, but over time, they drain your wealth and keep you stuck. The key is to recognize these patterns and make small changes. Start by tracking your spending, creating a simple budget, and focusing on your long-term goals. Remember, true financial success doesn't come from looking rich or making risky bets. It comes from being mindful and intentional with your money. Every dollar saved or spent wisely brings you closer to the life you want. The road to financial clarity starts with one step. Take it today. Now, if you want to learn how to achieve financial success, then watch this video next. If you made it to this point in the video, please like and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.